Thanks for checking out The Rundown with Ramon. My name is Ramon Ray, and you can get to know me better at RamonRay.com. In this episode of The Rundown with Ramon, I had the pleasure of interviewing LeAnne Dolce. And LeAnne Dolce is the owner of Wake Up Happy Sis and Dolce and Lay, her amazing skincare, natural skincare products and network for women to help them focus on self-care. A few tips we're going to discuss, a few things we talked about. It's beyond just sleep, but true self-care. We talked about that self-care is personal. What makes you happy? Self-care, it's not selfish. It's in fact selfless. We talk about you can't get out of your cup, but you have to get out of your overflow. And self-care, it's about body, mind, and soul. And lastly, we mentioned several times, true self-care, it's about being happy, healthy, and whole. Once again, my name is Ramon Ray, and this is The Rundown with Ramon. Check out this amazing episode right now. LeAnne Dolce, thanks so much for being here today. And the topic of discussion today is a word that is so simple, but I think means so much to different people. And for sure, I know myself, I can get caught up with not doing enough of this word, which is the word, LeAnne, self-care. LeAnne Dolce, welcome to The Rundown with Ramon. And help me understand what that word means. Feel free to take your time and unpack that. And then after that, we'll find a bit more about who you are in your business. But LeAnne, let's just go right to the top. Self-care, what does it mean to you? Why is it so important?
All right. Well, Ramon, thank you for having me on. And self-care, that's my jam. That's my favorite topic. But really what self-care is such a buzzword now. And it means so many things to so many people. And most people, when they think self-care, they think, I'm going to go take a bath. I'm going to go to the spa. I'm going to get some candles and drink some wine, or maybe even hang out with my friends, right? But when I say self-care, what I mean is mind, body, and soul, not just doing things that outwardly make you look and feel good, but doing that work that's sometimes a little scary, a little hairy, right? And doing that work so that you are happy from the outside in, right? And inside out, both ways, right? I want us to live our best lives, and we do that through self-care. And most people, when I say this, there are actually 8 dimensions of self-care and wellness. So you've got your financial, and they all impact how you feel about yourself, how you feel about and experience your life, right? It can be financial, it can be emotional, spiritual, occupational. There are so many facets to self-care, but it's really, if I had to just hone down on one little thing, it is, what are the things that I can do to be happy, healed, and whole? Right? What are the things that I can do for myself to be happy, healed, and whole?
I love it. I was going to say those are 3 H's, but because I wasn't too good in spelling in school, but I think whole is like WHOLE. So, but I like that, LeAnne. So LeAnne, let's go backwards a few minutes. Thanks for helping us unpack that. Who is LeAnne Dolce today? Feel free to tell us your website, the name of your business, who you serve, brag a bit about yourself, tell the Rundown with Ramon who you are today, and then I'll remind you this if you forget. But then I want to go back. Who were you before you were here, and tell us the story of what brought you here. Then we'll continue on self-care. But feel free to tell us, LeAnne Dolce, how can people reach you? Who are you? Who do you serve? Who's that perfect customer for you?
All right. Well, that is so easy, right?
Good.
My actual main business is Dolce and Lay, and that is a natural skincare and what I call my personal pampering line, and that's dolceandlay.com. Just like Dolce and Gabbana.
I got it.
Dolceandlay.com. Very simple. Now, the next part is my network, and that's Wake Up Happy Sis. It's a network, it's a movement, it's all the experiential part of my business. And you can access me there through Dolce and Lay or wakeuphappysis.com. If you look up any of those 2 on the internet, you are going to find this beautiful black bald head woman. You will find me. That's where I'm at. And who do I serve? I am here to help high performing and high achieving Black women who really want to take better control of their lives. They may be suffering from burnout, from overwhelm. They are the women who are the foundations in their families, in their communities, and their business, right? They're doing all the things for everybody else. And just like you said at the entry, they're forgetting to put themselves first. My whole movement is around helping these women put themselves first in their life, because when I take best care of me, And when I love me unconditionally, that love radiates out, and everybody who I touch is going to benefit. But I have to first do it for me, not so that I can be a better wife or a better mother or a better employee or boss, so that I can be the best version of myself for myself. And that's enough. And that, I think, is the biggest hurdle that most of the Black women that I come across have, is they feel so guilty, and they've had so much trauma in their life that sometimes they even feel shameful when they want to do something for themselves. And I'm here to tell you, you got to take care of your star player first before you can take care of anybody else.
And so does that mean when Johnny, the 3-year-old, or Johnny, the 13-year-old says, Mommy, can you make me some macaroni and cheese? You say, no, I'm watching Netflix. Go make it yourself. Is that what self-care? I know it doesn't, but is that what self-care means? Help us understand the polar opposites.
You know what?
Of
what it might, what it could mean is that you've meal prepped, and little Johnny can go and take that meal if he's 13, not the 3-year-old.
Of course, I understand.
And he can go and he can do that, so that you have time to decompress, so that you have time to focus. It's not about neglecting.
Yes.
Right. And I think that's what a lot of people feel, is that for me to take care of me first means I have to neglect other people. No, it doesn't. What it means is I can take best care of everybody else when I am full. Most people think that your cup runneth over. They're giving out of the cup. You're supposed to give out of your overflow. What's in the cup is only for you. Your overflow is what you have to give to everybody else. If you're constantly giving out of your cup and you have nothing left to give anybody else, you surely have nothing left to give yourself. And when you're run down, when you're overwhelmed, when you're burned out, everybody else seems to feel that wrath, because now you're a little more snapping at your kids or at your husband or spouse, right? You're just not performing well at work. So that's going to impact your money, which is going to potentially also impact your health, right? So the goal is make sure that I am centered, I'm balanced. Like I said, happy, healed, and whole. You'll hear me say that a lot. When I am all those things, then I can actually take better care of those around me as well.
I love it. So self-care, as some may think, and me, I like to think myself as the common person asking questions, is that it's not selfish per se. It's not a negative selfishness. It goes two ways. Yes, it's self-care because I enjoy it. It feels good, whatever it may be, but it's also self-care because if I don't self-care, I'm going to be a jacked up. That's the words I use. I'm not going to be a good person. And anything you disagree with, let me know. And then third, I can serve you better. You said already, but I'm just repeating what I'm hearing. A, it's just important for my sanity, just for me to be whole. And then 2, I feel great. And then 3, since I feel great, not like it's all me. No, then I can serve you. Am I repeating what I'm hearing? Am I catching it?
Yes. So self-care is 100% not selfish. It is actually selfless, because when I take care of me, see, this is the kind of critical juncture of selfish and selfless, I think, because if I'm doing all of this work so I can be a better mother, so I can be a better wife, what that means is that my worth is still tied to the service that I provide to somebody else.
Yes.
I'm only as good as the service that I provide. And that is not what our lives should be about, right? My worth is not tied to my service. My worth is tied to my heart, to my morals, to who I am and how I love. Now, the outcome of that is that I am a service-based person. I am a servant leader. I serve my husband. I will serve my kids. I will serve my community, whatever. But I first have to serve me. And I have to get to a point to where I don't feel guilty about doing that. Now, how crazy does that sound? That says, you know what? I really just want to take a day off. Let somebody watch my kids, somebody I trust. And I'm not going to do any work on this Saturday or Sunday. I'm really going to focus on me. How crazy does it sound that I feel guilty about trying to do that when I work 60, 70, 80 hours a week serving everybody else, and I can't take 8, 6, 2 to serve me?
And maybe you said already, LeAnne, but again, tell me why people feel this guilt, especially women. I'm from what I understand, there's not a sexist word. That's what I hear. So why do many women feel this guilt? And if you said already, forgive me, but repeat that again. Why is that there? Society, how they were brought up, just thinking if you're not working hard, as some people in academics, right? If you're not working hard, something's wrong. But life may not have to be that way. Talk to me about that.
As Black women, we are really not given the space to not be the foundation, right? We are the foundations of our families. We are that rock. Think about your grandma and Big Mama, she was the rock of the family. She was the foundation, your mother, right? That's the role that we've been given. Even growing up in our households, we are told as women, once you have a child, once you have a husband or a mate, once you have a something, you then cannot focus on yourself. Your attention must be placed on that other person as a primary. And if that's what you grew up seeing, and that's the message that society is telling you, your family is telling you, that's a trauma of sorts that you're being told. In effect, you're being told that I'm not worthy of focusing on myself. And sometimes you're flat out told that, right? But it comes from society saying, as a mother, oh, you can't be focused on yourself. You're supposed to give up yourself. That's why you find so many women saying, I've been married, and when they become empty nesters, they don't know what to do because their whole identity became wrapped up in being Mrs. somebody or mom. They left being LeAnne.
Yeah.
And now they have to go and find it.
Me and my wife talk about that. What you said is so true. Even the simple things like, don't tell anybody this. Okay, LeAnne, this is a secret just between me and you. Okay, you got. So my wife eats ice, and I'm sure half the ladies are like, oh, I do too. She eats ice, and so yes, of course, I'm just teasing. But so she puts on her cups oftentimes, Mom. And we've had that conversation because I put Ramon. So just interesting how you said that. My wife is a wonderful woman, but just whatever we're feeling, however it is you are, Mom. And so we've talked about those things, identity, and I totally understand it. I'm sure a lot of the people listening to us today identify with that. What are you telling the ladies who are in your Wake Up Happy Sis network, right? Wake Up Happy Sis? Yeah, Wake Up Happy Sis. What are you telling them? How do they recover? How do they do it right? She's 35 years old, 50 years old, 45 years old, all her whole life. Great person, great woman, working hard, loves her kids, but she's in that not enough self-care, none. How do you do? Is it like an AA meeting? How does LeAnne Dolce start that process of when they come out, they're realizing, you know what? No, it's okay to take care of me. Walk me through maybe a scenario, some things you do or tips for us, if you understand my question, if that's a fair question.
No, it's a very fair question. So one of the first things that I tell anybody is you have to start with mindset, right? Mindset is the foundation for everything because you have to start breaking down some of those past traumas. You have to start unlocking some of those little boxes that you put the hurt, the pain, all the things and those bad lessons, the limiting beliefs, right? That self-doubt, your inner hater, as I call him. Mine is named Ricky Bob. I gave him a name, but you have to start breaking those down. So you start with mindset so that you can get past the fact that you feel guilty every time you want to take care of yourself. And you also have to set boundaries. That's usually a really hard part for people because sometimes that means you got to put some people out of your life, right? You've got to understand and recognize the toxic and narcissistic people and see how you can safely remove yourself from that environment. And I stress safely, right? And then you have to start that work of rebuilding yourself up, right? And that means finding a community of women who are there because sometimes you'll find that a lot of women are like, when I try to set boundaries, now I'm the bad person in my family because my whole family is used to relying on me.
My wife has told me that.
As you set boundaries, all of the toxicity is going to come at you, but that's a good thing because you want to be able to know who to remove from your life. And sometimes that's family, right? Sometimes that could be your parents. And it might not be a complete removal, but you have to set that distance and you have to set that respect level and stand firm in those boundaries. So that's another lesson. And then we focus on self-love. That's one of the major components, is self-love. Because as you love yourself, you're going to start setting those boundaries and not falling back every time somebody guilt trips you into it, right? You're going to go ahead and do the work and find the support system, whether it's a group, your good group of girlfriends, whether it's a therapist, right? You're going to find that because you now have a different outlook on yourself and feeling towards yourself. So we focus on those things and looking at what are the things that make you happy, finding your personal sunshine. That's what I call it, right? You have to know what makes you happy and you have to keep doing those things, and they change as time goes on. You know, keep reinventing yourself, if you will. Every day is a new chance, and I try and hammer this into people. Every day is a new chance for you to quote unquote get it right, whatever that looks like for you, but not overwhelming yourself and bringing more stress into your environment by saying, oh, now I've got to do this. Self-care can be, I wake up 10 minutes early, and just so I can sit in the house and drink my coffee in peace before everybody else is up. I meditate and I set my intentions and my positive thought for the day. That's self-care. It doesn't have to always be this big, magnanimous thing, but you also have to invest. It's going to cost you money. Anything that's worth having is worth working for and fighting for and investing in. And if you can't invest the time, the energy, and or the cash into building yourself into the best you that you can be, I don't really know what else to say to people, right? Is you are your biggest investment.
Yeah, that is powerful. You're so true. What do people say, LeAnne, to the others in the group, not going to the level of talk to the hand, but what do they say to the spouse, to the me, to the older kids, not the 2 and 3 year old, but to the 17, 18, 21-year-old who they love and who loves them? Let's put some context. They love them. There's love and everything's cool, but it's a new phase. They realize, what? It's probably not even their fault. The other's fault. It's mine. I need to get this out of my own head. I'm setting that boundary, What do they say? What do they say to the other? And you may have said it already. You may have given us those tips, but what does my wife say to me, assuming I didn't hear all this? How does she say, hey, Ramon, just so you know, Fridays, I'm going to be checking out for about 4 hours or whatever the thing may be. How do they have that conversation?
Just like that.
Okay.
Just like that. It's very simple, right? Start the conversation with your spouse, your mate, and let them know, right, that from this time to this time, I really need you to support me in taking time for myself, right?
Love it.
I really need you to support me in doing this. I need this for me, right? And as a loving spouse, hopefully they will see that and reciprocate, because they know how hard she works to bring the family together, keep the family together. She's running all the things, right? And with your children, sometimes it's a little bit different depending on their age, right? But that's where that spouse comes in. Okay, this is mommy's quiet time. Right. So we're going to go outside and we're going to do this, right? Or we're going to go over here, or finding somebody. And that's where that community can come in too. Yeah. Hey, good girlfriend, can you watch my kids on this day during my time, and I'll watch your kids during this time. So that you have a community, so that you're not doing anything by yourself. And if you don't, then sometimes it's going to cost you some money, and find a good person who can sit with your kids while you go and leave the house, because sometimes that rest, that relaxation, that rejuvenation that you need cannot be found in the house with 4 kids, a dog, a cat, a gerbil, a husband, everybody coming over. So you've got to go somewhere. I have a friend who literally every couple of months, she will go stay at a hotel.
Yeah, I like that.
Just one night, just so she has that time. And during that time, she might cry, she might laugh, she might just read a book, but it's her time to work on her, to just relax or to do whatever work that she wants to do.
I love that. And one thing I want to underline, I'm assuming you may agree with me, LeAnne, just based on the little I'm learning from you, is that this is beyond sleep. This is not, I'm going to go to bed early, right? This is not, I'm going to wake up late. Could be part of it, but meaning this is self-care. This is beyond just, oh, you need to wake up 2 hours later? Sure, I'll go to work late. Meaning telling the lady that,
Right.
no, this is not that. This is the whole package of whatever that self-care means. Help me say that better.
Exactly what it is. It's what we're going to take care of: mind, body, and soul. We're taking care of the complete person, right? A lot of it starts with mindfulness.
Yeah.
Right? Being aware of what's going on, how you feel in that moment, and not judging it. I'm not judging, am I angry or, but just realizing that I have these feelings, feeling those feelings instead of trying to suppress them, and trying to quiet all the things in our mind so that we can really get to what truly makes us happy, get to the root cause of why am I feeling this way, right? And sometimes it is just, I just want to go there and sleep.
That's right.
Right?
If that's the choice, if that's what you really want
But
to do
that's
for
your
the self-care.
choice. But you've created this self-care toolbox, you will, or toolkit that has all the things you need. I know people who have physical bags of stuff, and that is their self-care kit. Might have a weighted blanket in it, might have a book, they'll put some snacks in there, they'll put, they'll have their favorite playlist on their phone, so that when they do have that time, whether it's a day or 1 hour, they have things to do that can focus just on them. I don't have to do anything for my kids. I'm not doing something for my spouse. I'm not doing something for the people at work or at church or in the community. That I'm totally focused on my happiness and healing me. Sometimes it's about doing that spiritual work in trying to heal that trauma, right? How do I heal little LeAnne and tell her, I am so sorry for what you went through, and it is okay. You are not bad. There was nothing wrong with you, right? Starting to do those things. So you can have, the great thing is that self-care is so personal. What my self-care looks like is going to be very different from yours and very different from the next person. And you get to choose what you want to do and how you show up in the world for yourself. And I just think that makes it such an open playing field where you get to create the life that you desire. And what you focus on, I strongly believe, is what you can achieve.
Yeah, no, for sure. This has been so good, LeAnne. Help me understand what got you here, LeAnne. What were you doing the day before you were doing Dolce and Lay? The day before you were doing Wake Up Happy Sis. Tell us what you're doing metaphorically the day before. What were you doing before you got here? What was your journey to get to this spot?
I was morbidly obese. Now, I'm still a big girl, but
I got you.
I'm not as big as I was. So I'm still a big girl, but I was morbidly obese. I was unhappy, and I was just trying to fake it till I made it, right? And I realized that if I didn't change me, I wasn't going to live to see my children grow up and see them have children, right? And that I also wanted to be healthier for me. I wanted healthier options for my kids. And I didn't see a lot of representation of me in the media. I had locks. There wasn't a lot of that in the media at this time. So I initially started with a natural hair magazine. It's called Natural Roots. It was the first and the largest of its kind in the United States, probably in the world. And that's where I started, creating a magazine just for Black women with natural hair, so that we had a representation of us in the media. And then I started making products. But then I realized that wasn't really getting to the crux of the problem that we had. Yes, it's nice to have wonderful natural and organic products, but that wasn't getting to the soul of why we were unhappy, what was going to help us become happy. And that's where Wake Up Happy Sis came in, because I'm a solution-oriented person. So by day I was an IT person, and I'm still an IT gal, but it wasn't fulfilling me. It wasn't helping me do what the Most High put me on this earth to do. And that was to be a servant and to push his agenda of self-care, of self-love, of self-worth for Black women, so that we could stand in our own happiness, right? And not be, I was talking to somebody else, I want to be the totem pole. I don't want to just be the bottom of the totem pole. I'm the whole totem pole, right? We have to stop feeling like we are just the foundation when we are, like, how can you not be the superstar in your own movie? How am I not the leading lady in my own movie? Like that.
Hello.
I wanted to give that to women, right? I wanted them to be able to walk in their happiness and walk in their authenticity and just be happy. We all just want to wake up happy at the end of the day.
That's right. That's right.
And so that's how I kind of journeyed on into this, because I knew what I wanted. And I had started talking to people and I was like, let's get to the bottom of it and let's see how we can help heal each other.
I love it. No, this is powerful. And thank you for being here. I want to ask about the business end of it as well. Lessons learned and things like this. You have the natural hair care, yes? Or skin, natural hair. So natural hair care products, you have that line.
Oh, they're skincare products now.
Skincare products, natural skincare products. Can you give me some, how did that start? And some advice. I guess it's an e-commerce business. I'm assuming retail. So yeah, e-commerce business. And what are some tips for those starting out wanting to sell online? So many channels we can do: Etsy, Amazon, Shopify, e-commerce, shipping, postage. Give us at a high level, how do you do what you do? What are some tips of success? What are some things you've done wrong? Like Ramon, boy, oh boy, we did this wrong. And I'm sure it's a lot in there, but share what you can. If you had to talk to a room full of 100 women who wanted to start a product-based business or wanted to be the next LeAnne, what would you tell them to do?
The first thing I would tell them to do is don't start from a position of I made this and I like it. That's where my product really started, is my friend showed me how to make products because I was making products that I liked. So I felt everybody else was going to like them. That's the wrong way to go about business, right? Find a need and find a way to service that need with a product or service. And then, there's probably a lot of business people that's not going to like what I'm about to say, is you ain't got to worry about having a business plan all the time, right? Because when you take too long, I've lost opportunities because I was trying to be a perfectionist. I'm serious about people having an experience. And in my quest for perfection, opportunity will pass you by. Put something out there, but make sure what you're putting out there is safe, it's tested, right? Do your homework and your research. I am not telling you to go out there all willy-nilly. Do your homework and your research and your testing. And when you got something good, just go and jump.
Not let perfection keep you from going forward. Launch.
Exactly. Yes. Exactly. And launch more often and tell the world about it, right? Tell your friends, tell their friends, tell people on the street. Get your product in front of as many eyes as you can and find a platform that works for you, right? I would recommend Shopify. And I'm not getting paid for this, but sure. I would recommend Shopify because it's built for e-commerce and it's going to make your life so much simpler than a WordPress type site where you have to have somebody who knows about the plugins, about all these other things, or your site comes down, right? Something that's a little more secure is going to be a Shopify platform where they are totally locked down. They are their own ecosystem. And do what you love. Do it because you love it, not because you want to make money. The money will come when you're doing what you love. It won't feel like work. Yeah. And invest in a team as soon as you can. Invest in a team because that's the only way you will grow.
Got it. What does your team look like, LeAnne, for either both businesses or one, whatever? Just give us a, metaphorical, what are some roles that may be there now or that you envision in the next several months or 1 or 2 years?
Well, I think a lot of times one of the areas that we need help in is social media.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Because there's 50 million platforms and we've got to be on all of them.
Oh, wait, LeAnne, 1 second. Oh, another one launched. 50 million in one. Just launched just now while we were speaking. I saw the press release coming to my fax machine. That's launched.
It. There's probably another one coming right now after it, right? but make sure that you have somebody to help you with that. But don't think about hiring at the lowest level. A lot of times that's what we do, is we try to hire the lowest level. Try to hire somebody that can replace you in key aspects of your business, strategic ones, so you can go and be the face of the business, so you can go and sell and promote. So if that's a VA, that's one place where I would definitely start, because you can usually get a couple of different skills out of one VA. A project manager. So right now I have a project manager, I have a graphic designer, I have a person that does, like, my tech team that does funnels and things like that for me. But also, these are not paid positions, this next one, but having a group of people who can serve as kind of your beta testers, if you will.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That to me is so key when you're a
Big
product-based business,
fans.
service-based.
I
People
talk
that
about,
are,
yeah, the
yes,
celebrity
they are
CEO. I talk
the,
about that. My fans and those who will
yes,
just roll with you. Yeah.
yes, because, and those who will tell you the truth.
Mm.
Yeah, this product right here is not it. Oh, this is a winner. I use this every time. And sometimes it's your friends. Sometimes you have to have people you don't know who are willing to sit in that space for you. Right. And so to me, those are some of the key people, and somebody to help you really with marketing, who understands marketing and how to run ads and how to best position your business in front of the right people. Because if you don't have the right audience and you don't have the right messaging, it don't matter what else you're doing, because you're talking to the wrong people, and your message is never going to get across to the people who are waiting to buy your products and services.
I love that. And then talk about the network that you have. You have Wake Up Happy Sis. What is that about? Yeah, what is that? Could be many different things. Courses? Is it networking? Do you all sit together around a fireplace and eat marshmallows and laugh? Or what is that about? And then my next question will be, talk to us about how to build a network. What things have you learned, or what things do you wish you didn't do? But what is it? And then help us understand what we can learn from how you built that.
So Wake Up Happy Sis is a growing community of services. So we have what I call the sister circle, and that's the membership-based portion, and that's the support arm, right? So that's where the women come together. We have different kind of activities in there. So they have group coaching calls. We have expert hours. They get different worksheets on self-care and wellness topics, and having that community, that accountability, and a group of women who will lift you up, and different trainings that will come out of that membership, right? We also have the Wake Up Happy Sis radio show. So we do that once a week on Mondays. We also have just retreats, different VIP and intensive kind of day trainings and weekend trainings that we do for people, either in small groups or on a one-on-one basis. So it's really about providing experiences, wellness experiences for women, so that they have somewhere else that they can go to get resources. And we also offer those services to companies to do corporate gifting as well as corporate wellness programming.
I love that. I love that. So you don't wake up every day. Do you ever wake up bored? Like, I ain't got nothing to do today. Do you ever wake up like that?
I don't know what that looks like. I've never woke up like that, like, I don't have anything to do. No,
I love it.
I don't even know I'd want to, because what am I gonna, no, I wouldn't want to be that. I need to be moving. I need to be in the middle of action somewhere.
I love it. And to that point, I'm curious, LeAnne, what's your self-care look like? What does LeAnne enjoy? And what's your self-care look like? What's talk to us about, you're the self-care doctor. So what's the self-care doctor doing?
You know what? I love to travel.
Okay.
For me, self-care generally involves sand and water.
Love it.
I love water is such, and I love grounding, which is me being in contact with the earth and understanding that there's so much more than me. It's so much larger than me. It's also sometimes massages. I love doing massages. But it's also doing the work on me, because I'm always evolving. Nobody is a finished product. To me, life is a learning journey. And so I'm always working on me. One of my many, I don't call them flaws per se. One of my challenges that I constantly is that I love to shop.
Yeah.
But I don't shop like normal people. I shop for business things. My things are like big purchases. And then I'm like, I don't even want to do that anymore.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm multi-passionate is what
Mm-hmm.
they've told me, right?
Yeah.
So, but that's also a part of my self-care because I look at how can I utilize these to be of service. It's not always about money. It's about how can I help people do something, do more with their lives, right? So my self-care is always how do I fix me? How do I make me happy? How do I pamper me? And then who are the people around me that I can be around? Because your self-care, there's also social wellness, which is my environment and the people that I'm around, right? Who do I keep in my inner circle? I have an awesome circle of women. My tribe is strong. Can't nobody touch my tribe now. They're awesome.
I love it. I love it. LeAnne, one more time, give us the website name of how we can reach you for both sides of your business, the natural skincare and the network. Feel free to repeat once again the two sides of your business, what they are, who you serve, who you invite to join you in either one. Feel free. Please share that again.
Yes. So on any social network, I'm at Dolce and Lay, DolceAndlay. You can get access to both sides of my business through Dolce and Lay. I also have Wake Up Happy Sis, which is my experience arm of my business. And I serve high performing and high achieving Black women who really want to get radical about their self care so that they can pamper themselves, they can start healing that past trauma, and so they can start living their best lives without shame and without guilt.
I
So
love it.
I want them to be the star in their own movie. We have to be our own leading lady or leading fella in our role movies.
What an amazing interview, learning a little bit about e-commerce, a little bit about networking, and most importantly, the importance of self-care. This is Ramon Ray with the Rundown with Ramon, and we've been talking to the absolutely amazing LeAnne Dolce. Definitely check her out of all the things she just said. And most importantly, if you're listening to the sound of my voice, seeing this video, reach out. Let me know that you're hearing this and that you're enjoying this or how we can do better. You can get to know me better at RamonRay.com. Find me on Instagram, Ramon Ray Smart Hustle, and all the platforms. Just look up Ramon Ray. LeAnne, thanks for joining us today on The Rundown with Ramon.